Have you ever felt this strange feeling when you wake up every single day that you have woken up in an unfamiliar place? In a place that seems so strange, yet you are living there for so long. If you have the same kind of feeling, well, then welcome to being homesick. James Baldwin once said that you don't have a home until you leave it. And once you have left it, you can't go back. According to Oxford Dictionary, it describes the word home as a place where one lives permanently, especially as a member of a family or a household. Well, whether you agree with this definition or not, that it covers all the aspects, but the truth is, home is just not a physical place that you describe. It's a feeling, it's a way of living that feels so familiar to us. It's also the name of the place, most likely where we were born or where we would have spent all, if not most, of our childhood at. It's a place that we would have never imagined to leave. But just like all the birds that leave their nests when they grow up, us humans also have to leave this place that we call home. And we have to leave this comfort and luxury of it as well. And as we all keep preparing for that dreadful day to come, we all are excited and anxious to finally be set free, to get rid of all these restrictions and boundaries and constant nagging from our parents until we pack up our bags and we actually have to leave for our college or our job. And finally, that inevitable day arrives and we eventually leave to improve our lives and get ahead. See, you might be leaving your house for multiple reasons like colleges, jobs, or any other. Or you might not leave your home like some of you lucky ones out there. I'm talking about you day scholars. But we all can agree this one thing that leaving home is very difficult. Take for my example, I am here in Karnataka studying MBBS, right? And my college and my home are 2,700 kilometers apart. It takes me almost a full day of travel from here to Bangalore, then to my home, even through flight. See, I also, like everybody else, was very excited that I would get to leave my home, get to leave these boundaries, and enjoy the freedom that I get. But boy, oh boy, it is very difficult to stay like this. See, apart from the 15-20 minute video call interaction that I have with my parents, there is no other familiar face that I see on a daily basis, unless some family member or a relative calls, which is very, very rare, by the way. Even a recent incident happened that one of my family members died. And knowing that he was ill for so long, even during that phase, I just could not go back home. I needed someone to feel safe and comfortable with and share my sorrow of that incident. But I wasn't able to. And that has left a big scar in my life. Now, well, this was a very personal and an extreme case that I talked to you about. It's just a one-off event, hopefully, but it's like a major injury that will heal eventually despite leaving a scar. But what is more painful is what I talked about in the starting of the video. The constant pain and the constant feeling of living in a strange place on a daily basis. Waking up and looking at your surroundings and nothing feels familiar. Eating the food that you might not even have considered edible when you were at home. And stop. I do not mean to be disrespectful to any culture here. I totally agree that this food is edible and tasty in its own right. But the way they make it in our hostel is beyond my human capacity to understand or to digest. So sometimes I'll just order if that, does anything better. Well, it's not all sad and problems when you leave your home. There's also the positive side towards it as well, is that the unrivaled freedom, the great responsibility that you all craved for, like once I'll become an adult or leave my home, if I'm on my own, independent, I will do this, I will do that. That freedom is given to you. And that opportunity is what we all were craving for in some ways. A lot of things happens because of that. First of all, not only the constant nagging that was irritating you from your parents all the time, they used to check up whether you're studying or not or whatever, the daily chores that didn't make sense half of the time are also gone. But also their support is too. Their support and their constant desire to reduce and soften each and every of our fall. Well, this sounds bad, but this helps us to experience life raw, the way it is supposed to be, to make those mistakes and feel their consequences without any soft padding below us. And just like our parents did, and the same thing that we will be doing as well. This will make us a better person in the future. This aspect is very necessary in any person's life, and that's why this leaving of home is a constant theme or a constant canon event in every person's life. It's not something very special to you alone. But we have to be careful. As Uncle Ben once said, that with great power comes great responsibility. Well, here we're not getting any spidey powers, we're getting the power of freedom. And this age where most of us leave our homes, which is 18 to 22, is a very volatile phase. It's a phase where we feel like adults, but we are not quite adults yet. And most of us don't even know what to do with the freedom that we are given. And we need guidance, and we need someone to supervise us. Not particularly spoon feeding us like in our childhood, but at least some kind of supervision is necessary. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is that most of us just get into our hostels or colleges and take guidance from the other seniors or elder people who are just slightly younger than us and almost as oblivious to life as we ourselves are. And that's where the trap comes into place, where people just lose complete interaction and connection with their family. So at least the supervision you had, sharing your daily activities, at least some kind of feedback or review you used to get with your family is also gone. And that leads to a very big trap. Because at the end, even if you're discussing with your seniors or somebody elder, they are also the same age. They still wouldn't have as experience, at least particularly about you, as your parents would have had. And that's why I will advise for most of these people, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you want to go back to your home, or you love being free, or your parents are not, acceptance of your ways of living, you still should be in touch with your parents. You still should be constantly telling them about your daily life and how you're living it, what you should do and what they would have done in your place. And that is what really helps, because this is how we are supposed to live our life. At the end, our parents don't want us to make those same mistakes that they did. So obviously they would warn us beforehand. So once you leave your home, get all this freedom, we don't have to just completely become blinded by it and enjoy life as it comes and make mistakes just because we were supposed to make mistakes. As people say, that the wise people learn from others' failures and mistakes. So we can learn from the failures and mistakes of our parents, of other seniors. It's not necessary to make those mistakes by ourselves as well. So with this great power of freedom, we need to be responsible with it. We need to enjoy it, but we also need a supervision. And for that supervision, I almost tell everything on a daily basis to my family. Now, obviously, I admit everything I mean around 60 to 70%. 30-40 is still ifsy butsy, but you get the point. See, you need a proper daily basis interaction with your family. For me, that's the only thing that is keeping me sane. Now, I'm soon going to go home, and I can't wait to go to home anytime soon because I've not gone for almost a year. The thing is here, if you don't keep this interaction with your parents constant, you don't keep this connection well maintained. I'm not saying a phone call 5 minutes, 10 minutes, asking how they're doing, they'll ask you how you're doing. Not that, a proper connection, a proper conversation that you would have with your parents if you were home. That is what I'm talking about. A full 15, 20, half an hour type of conversation. That is what I'm asking you. Because if you don't do that, that support, that supervision gets out of you, you may fall into the wrong company. Or also taking into account that how much loneliness you still would have to face. For example, this MBBS example, right? I am right now a UG student. I have been out of my home for almost 2 years now, and around 4 more years I have to stay here till I complete my internship and give my PG exam and I can go back home. Well, this thing doesn't end here, because my PG for 3 years, I would also have to most likely leave my home again. And if you can see where I'm going with this, the point here is that there's a long time ahead of you that you would have to live alone. So actually trying to force your way through it just basically ends your fuel of loneliness very early. So you should and you have to stay connected with your family so that you refill that sort of fuel over and over again so that you can go for longer. If you just lose that connection, that fuel just completely declines without replenishing. And that's why people get homesick, people get depressed, and people do not feel happy outside of their homes because they just leave all that connection behind. For me, even though I haven't gone home, I know what my family is going through right now, or my family knows what I am going through because of constant conversation and constant talking. Well, relatives call or not, that's a very different question. Those who care about me will call, those who I care about, I will call them, but that's a very different question. But the core family, we are all together and we are enjoying by God's grace. And that's what I want for you guys as well. Ending this video with is that it is very difficult to stay away from your home. But for all those who are staying away, I don't think I would have to say anything to motivate you. Most of you guys would have more experience than me. But the point is, we should just stay strong. We are living outside of our homes. We are facing the life in the most difficult and the most vulnerable way. We are getting better every single day. And we are becoming someone that we would be proud of. And not only us, also our family could be proud of in future as well. And never forget why we had left our homes and continuously work towards our goal, trying to make our family proud and also make use of this moment, because leaving your home and living so many kilometers away, it's already very difficult. And if you are taking this big hardship on you, then better utilize it than to waste it getting involved in some bad company or enjoying life and making memories or something like that. Well, that's just my opinion. You can have different opinion. Feel free to tell me about it in the comments. But for anybody else who's still preparing for NEET or IIT or all these colleges, I would say work a little harder. Try to get a college closer to your home so that you can avoid all this. But at the end, anything can happen. Everything has its pros and cons. Keep working hard. Keep staying focused to your goals. And yes, never forget why you left your home, and always make sure that you are utilizing that moment of hardship very well. Otherwise, all the sacrifices that you are making on your part, also your family back there who are missing you and who are longing for your presence, the sacrifices that they are making should also be worth it.